Hey guys, my name is Victor from Trading Stoically, and I have been trading for exactly 1 year now. It's kind of been crazy to think that exactly a year ago today, I've been trading specifically futures for 1 year. I'm someone that dabbled into trading about 5 years ago when COVID was happening. Someone told me about trading, and I got into it, started investing, which honestly has been very helpful for me. But then I started getting into the degeneracy of trying to make money online, especially through trading, starting off with penny stocks, transitioning to options, and then now I have finally landed in futures trading. If you guys want to hear more about my story, check out the top right corner there. There should be a card there for you guys to click on. It talks more in depth about my story, but essentially, from that time period on, I've always known that trading was for me. I was never truly serious about it. There'd be times where I'd go through spurts of like, okay, like I'm kind of serious about it, I'm kind of not. But for the most part, it was something where I just was never fully committed into doing everything that I needed to do. Fast forward to 2024. I live in Florida and we had some major hurricanes last year. Two of them really impacted our area. And I remember me and my girlfriend Stephanie, we evacuated with our with our little rabbit, our little baby boy. But when we were coming back, it just looked like an apocalypse. And at this time, Stephanie, she just quit her job because it was a very toxic environment. She couldn't work there anymore. I mean, it was really bad to say the least. So we were living on one income. For myself, I'm a physical therapist, so thankfully we had enough money at the time to sustain us for quite a while. But I knew that I had to figure out a way to earn some extra money. And then trading came back into my mind. At this time, I didn't trade or I didn't even look at like anything stock related for several months. I know I would sometimes kind of look here and there, but being a new physical therapist, working full time,
The
working
market is
long
closed.
hours. Yes, the market is closed. Um, but working those long hours, like there'd be times where I'm like, ah, I just can't trade. But after that stuff happened with the hurricanes, I was like, I have to figure out a way to earn some extra money, which came trading. Now, with trading, I was thinking like, okay, well, what should I trade? What should I do? I eventually learned about futures, and it's something I've always heard about for a while, but futures basically worked perfectly for my schedule. It was something where I was like, okay, cool. I can actually trade at night, work throughout the day, rest a little bit, and then trade again at night. So it was a perfect cycle for me. It was a perfect time. It was just something I had to get used to. Then came in prop firms, a low cost way. I guess you can call it low cost. We'll talk about the numbers in a little bit. If you guys want to skip to that, there's timestamps below. But prop firms came about, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I can actually pay a little bit of money, for like $50 or so, get an account, hopefully earn money from it. So then began my journey a year ago today, November 11th, 2025. I personally write my own journal. So this is my trading journal online that I publish on my YouTube account, but I also have my own personal journal that I keep on my phone that I write every single day. And I've been doing that for the last 6 years or so now, which is insane. I have 6 years worth of daily entries. And November 10th, 2024, I have written down basically what I was saying before I started trading. I said, Stephanie spoke to me about it and encouraged me and told me I knew what I was doing, and if I'm patient and stick to my setups, then I'll make money. She's so right. She also encouraged me to sign up for Top Step now, which I will. Can I pass the prop firm? The real journey starts tomorrow. Trading brings out who you really are. I've seen that. I hope to become better and improve. It's a lot of pressure to do well for my friends and family, but I can do it and I will do it. That's what I wrote a year ago. Well, technically November 10th. Today's November 11th. November 11th, I started trading Asian session. And in my next journal, I wrote that I already lost $380, which is absolutely hilarious. So fast forward till now, you can see here I have I have 500 accounts. This one in my last video, you guys will see that I thought I blew it. I technically have blown it, but I'm kind of playing the top step game. You can see this is absolutely terrible trading here. I just completely messed up. But this was a really good month for me. Um, I thought I blew it, and I technically did. It's negative 10 balance, but I'm keeping it so that way I don't have to activate my other funded account that's in the wings, waiting in the wings, right? So technically there's only four active. I have one to activate. But if you were to tell me a year ago that I'd have 500 accounts at one time, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. There's no way. How is that even a thing? How is that even possible for me? It was just so difficult for me at that time to even pass a prop firm that it it was just like unfathomable. Like, how do people actually do this? How do people actually uh make money from this? I blew my first account within 8 days. And it's crazy to think back now and be like, wow, like I blew an account in 8 days and I had no idea what I was doing, no risk management. I didn't even really have a strategy. I like literally all I was doing was I was looking for high volume spikes and be like, okay, cool, let me buy there, let me buy there. That's literally all I was doing at the time. No sign of any real strategy, no sign of any real risk management. I just wanted to make money. Kind of funny how full circle it comes around where on this account for this past or last week, that's all I wanted to do was make money, and that's why I ended up losing so much. But let's talk about how much I've actually made. So I have my stats written down here. The first one is it took me four accounts before I finally passed for the first time. So four accounts before I finally passed the combine. Most of this is with Top Step, but it does kind of go into there's a couple that I did end up buying, and I'll talk about those later. But four accounts it took before I passed for the first time. When I passed for the first time, that was back in February, and coming in to trading for the first time, like fully committed, my goal was to make $25,000 in payouts by the end of November. I am nowhere near close to that. So it was a lofty goal. I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. But really, my main goal was, can I pass an account? The reason why I say that was my main goal is because I've heard so many stories about what happened, or not what happened, but how many people don't pass prop firms. And I have this Twitter post by Xenom Trader, and he talks about how only 3.5% of people ever receive a payout. Only 12.4% of people ever pass a combine to become funded. These are Top Steps 2024 trader statistics. I was one of those people, right? Let's say that there was 100,000 people, because I don't believe there was actually 100,000 people. I think he's just using it as a number. But I was one of those people that was part of the 87.6% that did not pass a combine in 2024. It's very hard to do this. So, really, that was my goal. Can I pass a combine? And I did. I did it in about a few months. February was my first time. I think if I log into the Legacy dashboard, you'll see my first ever funded account. I think I accidentally closed that tab. But it's kind of incredible to think, like, wow, like February, I think it was February 6th or 7th. That's when I got my first ever funded account. I remember celebrating with Stephanie and just being so excited, like, wow, like I can't believe like I actually did it. Like this is such a game changer for me. But then by the end of February, I ended up blowing that account. We were up $1,500 in balance, ended up blowing it. Now, it was back to the drawing board. At that time, I felt like, again, unfathomable, insurmountable. All of these able words you could use to describe like being able to pass another combine. And that's when I started my YouTube channel. You'll see here, let me go on YouTube real quick. You'll see on my YouTube channel, that's when I first passed uh, another combine, right? That was my second ever combine I ever passed. We actually sorted by oldest. And you'll see here that it happened in like 7 days, I think, if I or 10 days, I think. And that's awesome to be able to show that, to be able to record that and show like, okay, like it is possible. Giving me the confidence that okay, like I can finally do this. You'll see here I start here how I passed my top step combine in 10 days, and then going from there just talking about like my journey to my first payout, which I did end up getting in June. Since then, I had 9 accounts blown before my first payout. My first payout, I believe it was $692.50, I believe. So that was my first ever payout. My second payout was $725, which occurred, I think it was in August. August, I believe, so about a couple months apart from the first one. And then my last payout, which just happened last week, was $595. So in total, I've made $2,012.50. This is how much I have made in terms of payouts. So honestly, again, like I said, even though my goal, my lofty goal, was to make $25,000 in payouts, for myself to even just get funded and make anything, knowing these statistics, knowing that it is so difficult for traders to get funded, knowing that it is so difficult for traders to even get one payout, being able to get 3 payouts in about a year of trading is honestly amazing. Now, let's talk about how much I've spent on prop firms. I have spent on Top Step alone, because I actually did buy one from Lucid earlier this year, and I also bought one from My Funded Futures this year as well. So Lucid was $85.25. My Funded Futures was $95.25. Top Step. I did not know how much I spent, but I honestly thought I was down more than I currently am. So on Top Step, I spent $2,394.50 in terms of activation fees, in terms of accounts, and in total, I have spent in terms of prop firms $2,575. So if you subtract that from everything I've earned in terms of payout requests in the last year, I am actually down $562.50. I thought it was going to be worse. I'm not going to lie. Like, I really thought it was going to be something where it's like, wow, like you're down quite a bit. Like, you're down over $1,000, but I'm not. So, I guess you could say that to call, about $500 to $600 drawdown, right, in my prop firm career, I think that's actually pretty good for the amount of education, the amount of learning that I've done. And it's something where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is your first year. It doesn't mean that's going to go perfectly the next year, but there's always going to be a gradual progression. There's always going to be something that you're going to be getting better at. And I know that for myself, I know that I can continuously improve, I can continuously get better. And I know that I can finally, by the end of next year, I hope, say that I'm profitable. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, like we have a timeline, right? I think setting timelines, even though I set that goal for myself in 1 year, make $25,000 in payouts, like even though I set that for myself, it's not really something that I'm looking at, right? Where you set a timeline for yourself, you're like, oh, I have to do it by this date. It doesn't work that way. But if you just know, you put that in your head that, okay, that this is my goal and I'm going to achieve it at some point, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine and you're going to do it. But you have to be able to put in the work. I've worked so hard. In fact, nowadays, whenever it comes to trading, I don't even really work that hard anymore because I know that my issue is now just like trusting my setup, trusting exactly what I'm doing, having the confidence to be able to do it repeatedly and not waver whenever a loss occurs because that's my issue. When a loss happens, I'm like, oh man, like I just lost. Like I need to change something. I need to do something better. But that's not the case. losing happens in trading. Losing is a part of life in general. And you have to be able to take those losses on the chin and say, you know what? I've lost, and that's okay. I'm just going to move forward from it. Because at the end of the day, I control what I can control. It's simple, but it's not easy. But if I can focus on entering at the right time, taking the perfect setups, going with the trend, making sure I'm buying in certain areas where I should buy or sell, then I know that I'm going to be profitable long term. So, yeah, that's how much I've made in 1 year, in my 1 year journey of trading. It's honestly been such a blast. I've met a lot of people online trading through this YouTube channel as well. I've only done YouTube for 7 months. So to have over 400 subscribers is insane to me. Just, the fact that you guys are supporting and just watching a guy, a guy just documenting his journey, showing what it's like to be someone who's unprofitable to being profitable, just watching the daily struggles and the highs and the lows. I truly appreciate you guys so much. It really does mean a lot that I've gotten so many comments, the views. I mean, like I've said this so many times, but the fact that I even get over 100 views on one video is crazy, let alone 1,000. It's just incredible. So for myself, I will be making this video again next year on the same day because happens to coincide with Veterans Day in the US, so it's pretty easy for me to remember. Um, but my goal for next year is $25,000 in payouts. Now, that one is an actual goal because I believe that now, like, I'm not profitable, clearly, but now I believe with a little bit more time, with a little bit more patience, I feel like I'm just one step away from saying, okay, like, I can actually do it now. So that is my actual goal. I hope to come back a year from now and say, Vic, like you've made $25,000 in payouts, blah 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 blah. We'll go over the stats again. Um, but in reality, my main goal, and I think that's something I'll probably talk about later on. My main goal is just to take a good setup whenever I see one. That's it. Just trade well, have good risk management, because I think that is the key mindset to becoming profitable. Once you found your edge, once you found your strategy, once you realize like what you need to be doing, in order to make money in the market. It's just about sticking to it, even during the tough times, even when it's difficult for you, even when you're on a losing streak of 4 or 5 trades in a row, 10 trades in a row. If you know that your edge is profitable, just keep doing it because you will be profitable long term. Trading is about capital preservation. It is not about making money, I swear to you. Because if you're focusing on making money, that's when you're going to lose more money. Clearly. That's how I blew this funded account. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come in the next year or so. I'm excited for this YouTube channel as a whole too, just to be able to show you guys like if I can do it, so can you. That's something that one of the guys who's inspired me to document my trading journey, Casey Nader Trades. It's so true. I always used to watch his video. This is the last thing I'll say before I go because I keep on yapping, but I used to watch his videos all the time back when I first started trading a year ago. And I'm like, man, like he just got however many $1,000 in payouts, blah blah blah. He doesn't really post as much now, but like one of the things he'd always say was, "If I can do it, so can you," right? And he would show the top step payout process, and he's like, "I'm not showing this to brag, but I'm basically telling you that if I can do it, so can you." And he's so right. And I used to be that guy where I'm like, man, like if Case can do it, so can I, so can you, right? If I can get a payout, so can you. I promise you. If I can get a payout, so can you. If I can get 3 payouts, so can you. Like, if you're someone that's never been funded before, if you're someone that's never gotten a payout before, I promise you, just keep put in the correct amount of work, right? Don't overdo it. Don't kill yourself trying to make money, right? But if you put in the appropriate amount of work, the correct work, and you're diligent with how much effort you're putting in, I promise you, you're going to do the same, you know? So my goal is $25,000 in payouts, but our goal as traders is to take the correct setup every single day. Don't overtrade. Stick to your plan, and we'll get this bread. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video today. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me say it again, though, just for people who um, are looking just to skip through the video, I have earned $2,012.50. I am currently down $562.50 because on prop firms in total from Top Step mostly, majority, and Lucid and My Funded Futures, I've spent $2,575. So yeah, hopefully next year I'm able to come back to this video and see like, okay, cool, like you spent this much. I have done a lot better in 2026. But we'll see. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.